Hi, my name's Moses, and I'm the lazy frugal millennial. Today, I want to do something a little bit differently. I want to react to a CNBC Make It video and give my perspective as a frugal millennial as well as a homeowner. The title of the video is Living in N $1,850 a month loft in Yonkers, New York, unlocked. Just reading the title is sending a shiver down my back. I mean, the real estate price difference between New York and New Mexico is insane. But let's take a look at this video and see what we think.
When I was a kid growing up in Brooklyn, I dreamed about living by the promenade or in Cobble Hill or getting a brownstone in Park Slope. It really hurt my soul that I had to leave my hometown to be able to find and afford an apartment of my dreams. Hi, welcome to my Yonkers loft apartment. My name is Denise Francis. I am 27 years old. I live by myself with my puppy in a one-bedroom apartment in Yonkers, which is right above Bronx, 30 minutes away from the city. I pay $18.50 a month for rent.
$18.50 a month for a one bed, one bath. I mean, that's just insane to me. I'm paying $13.82 a month for a mortgage on a 4-bed, 2-bath house right now in New Mexico. And that's insane. I was paying $1,700 a month on a 3-bed, 2-bath apartment. So $18.50 a month for a 1-bed, 1-bath is just mind-blowing to me. But I mean, that's what New York demands. Those are New York prices. The floor plan is pretty nice. I definitely like all the windows along the side. It makes it feel a lot more open, a lot bigger. But 611 square feet is only a third of the size of my house. And you're paying more than $400 more a month for that loft than I am for this house. So I mean, that's just mind-blowing to me, honestly.
I am the Arts and Culture Director at a nonprofit in Brooklyn. I am the CEO and founder of the Self-Love Organization, an online wellness platform, community, and club for women of color. We do this through sisterhood, retreats, and coaching, but also connecting women to therapists that look just like them. And I'm also a graduate student at NYU.
That's a pretty impressive resume. I think that there definitely needs to be a lot more self-employed people, so that's great that she's going down that path. I mean, more people need to be in control of their own finances and their own destiny. And that's also really cool that she's going to graduate school. I wonder what degree she's getting. Hopefully they talk about that later.
I really think I lucked out by finding this apartment. Not only is it a loft and beautiful and spacious and washer and dryer, but I also have majority of my utilities covered.
So she has a flat rate for water, and she also has Wi-Fi and electricity included in her rent. So that's a pretty great way of doing things because it's much easier to budget for that. You don't have to hit a moving target every month. So based on the numbers that they're giving here, it looks like she actually got a really good deal on her apartment. It looks like she's over $300 in savings from average rent in her area.
I'm a Brooklyn girl, born and raised. I've been living in a 2-bedroom apartment with my Jamaican mother for all of my life. At the age of 21, I knew that I wanted to reach the next stage of adulthood and I wanted to live on my own and just live my best independent life. But for some reason, every single year, something just kept happening. Either I didn't make enough money or I lost my job or I had to stop because of family emergencies. It just kept getting worse. So each year, I just continued to save and save and save. Over the course of a few years, I was able to save $20K. And then my recent role and promotion allowed me to continue adding to that savings as well as increase the saving rates. Once I reached that $20K mark, I knew that I was ready and I was more than financially stable to move into my first ever dream apartment.
That's great that she was able to save $20,000. That's over 10 months worth of rent in her apartment. So that's a really good cushion to have. And when you're living with your parents, it's really easy to save money because you don't have to pay rent or anything. And that's typically people's biggest expense. So if you live with your parents, take advantage of that for as long as you can and save all the money that you can.
Since moving here, I've been grateful enough not to touch my savings. I only use a small portion of it when I was first getting the apartment to help me with my upfront costs. I still save now, but just not as much as before. Before I was saving like close to the thousands. Now I'm saving like 400, but I'm still saving and that's all that counts.
Yeah, so she was saving a couple thousand a month before moving out, and now she's paying $1,850 a month in rent. The savings rate's gonna suffer pretty considerably. That's good that she's still saving some though, several $100s a month. I'm kind of curious what her income is. I don't think they go over that on Unlocked, but it'd be interesting to see what portion of her income is going towards rent and what portion is going towards her savings now.
This is my first apartment ever, and my goal was to have a loft apartment, which is my dream apartment. So I was looking all over New York City, all of the boroughs, New Jersey, basically everywhere. But I was pretty unsuccessful in finding a place that was beautiful, but also worth the price and not too far away. So this Brooklyn girl ended up in Yonkers because this had all the things that I needed. I actually found this apartment on Craigslist, but it was a scam. It was actually a scam on Craigslist. I ended up reaching out to the person that was listed. That person was not real. I Google photos the place and found the real leasing agent, connected with her, and moved in within like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple scams like that where they'll just rip pictures off of a listing and put it on Craigslist with their own contact information. Then they usually come up with some excuse saying, hey, I'm out of the country or I'm out of town, but wire me some money and we'll make the arrangements. Don't fall for that. See if you can find a listing or go directly to the building and figure out who's listing that apartment.
To secure the space, all I had to do was provide 2 recent pay stubs and fill out the application. Getting this apartment was actually not competitive at all. I kind of feel like God was like, here you go. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, renting an apartment is pretty easy. I mean, they just ask for a couple of pay stubs because they want to make sure that you're making at least 3 times more than your rent in most cases. Buying a house, on the other hand, is a complete nightmare. They want to know every single little detail about your finances.
I had to pay $4,700 for my upfront fees, $1,000 for my security deposit, $1,850 for my first month's rent. I had to pay another $1,850 because I didn't have a guarantor because I didn't make the full requirement income-wise to get this space. I was like $200 short.
That's pretty steep for upfront costs. I mean, security deposit, $1,000. That's more than half a month's rent. The biggest security deposit I've ever had to pay was like $300. First month rent, that makes sense. Non-refundable fee, I guess that's last month's rent. It's kind of unfortunate that she didn't make enough to qualify for the apartment. So now I really wonder how much she's making and how much of that is going towards her rent.
It wasn't hard for me to pay the $4,700 for the upfront cost. One, because I've been preparing for this day for like my whole life. I have been saving for the moment when I'm able to move into my dream apartment. So I already had the money prepared. But on top of that, if you compare this to how much money you have to pay in the actual city, this was not that bad.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of living with your parents to save as much money as you can, because it's definitely going to come in useful when you move out. When you first move into an apartment, you have all those upfront costs, plus you also have to get furniture to furnish your apartment.
Welcome to my living room. This has to be one of the most calmest spaces in the whole entire apartment, with the pink couch and the boho vibe with the rugs. One of the most expensive pieces of furniture I have in my apartment is this $520 beautiful Africa table. It's so pretty. The couch was originally this dark charcoal gray from IKEA. I was able to get it to be pink by going on Etsy and finding these customizable baby pink velvet covers.
IKEA is definitely the way to go for furnishing your first apartment. It's very inexpensive furniture, but it's pretty well built and it'll last you for a while if you take care of it. I kind of wish that we lived closer to one. Our nearest one to New Mexico is in Denver, Colorado.
Next to the living room is the bathroom. What I love about my bathroom is how spacious it is. There's just so much space in here, but my favorite part has to be the waterfall shower head. I love being underneath there with a candle. It's all about self-love, sis. I wanted to make sure that all of the spaces in my home was functional, so I took underneath the steps in my loft and turned it into this little like library slash office area. On the weekends, I love to cuddle underneath here with some music playing and a good book. During the week, I use it as an office for school and for my business.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about having your own space, having your own apartment, is that you can kind of turn it into whatever you want, whatever you feel like you're going to use the most, and you can truly make the space your own.
So here is my kitchen.
It's a really nice looking kitchen, but there's not a lot of counter space, and I definitely use a lot of counter space when I'm cooking. So it would take some adjustment to get used to having just a small counter space there next to the sink, but it's doable.
Over here, we have my fridge, dishwasher, stove, and these really tall cabinets. I honestly need a stepladder every single time because they're just so big. My least favorite thing about this apartment has to be this little insy-binsy, non-regular human-sized fridge. I think it's so weird that it's kind of like a miniature fridge and it's not like your average size fridge. We could have done anything. Why is that thing so small? My favorite part about my kitchen is my breakfast nook. What I really love is this arch wall that I made. I got this really large panel from Home Depot and used the jigsaw to carve out an arch to give me that like cool arch effect.
Yeah, pretty inexpensively, you can make your own decorations for your house, and that came out really nice as an accent for her apartment.
But the next thing that I love is this really cool table. This is called a blooming table. Inside of the blooming table, you get to plant succulents and make your own little garden. The top of it lifts up for you to be able to water and care for the plants, and there's a drain underneath it to take care of the plants as well. It's just so beautiful and such a nice thing to eat on and look at. And when you go up the steps, you finally reach my bedroom. I really love how large the bedroom is. I really love the balcony area of the bedroom. I usually roll out a yoga mat in the mornings and do some yoga and meditation every morning, and it just really sets the tone for the day.
A loft is a really great use of space, and I'm sure that with all those windows, it makes for a really great view in the mornings.
One of my favorite parts about my bedroom has to be these brick wall panels that I installed to give me that touch of Brooklyn, that homey, urban, cozy feel. I got these from Home Depot and stuck them to the wall with some nails. They were only like $33 each, and I only needed 3 panels to complete my wall.
That's really cool. For $100, she was able to decorate her own bedroom and kind of give it the feel that she wanted.
Another thing I love about my bedroom, I have this large, beautiful closet that fits all my clothes. It's even hiding some Christmas gifts right now. It's perfect for me. I'm so hyped.
$2,500. That is the way to do it. $2,500 to furnish her loft. That is amazing.
I basically took a little bit out of my income, a little bit out of my savings, and the rest I covered from the partnerships that I do on YouTube.
Even better, she got a lot of her stuff for free through partnerships. Start a YouTube channel, guys.
High five. Honestly, I love living alone. It is such a vibe to just have a curated space created for you. Everything has its space. It's just me and my puppy. I really feel like I really caught a deal with this space. Like, I'm in love.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, nothing beats having your own space that you can customize however you please.
Since I had so much money saved, I did think about buying, and then I realized that buying in New York is just a scam, and it's just nothing that I want to have parts of.
Yeah, New York real estate prices are just so insane. $20,000 is a great savings pile to have, but you're going to struggle to use that towards purchasing anything.
My lease and my graduation from grad school is actually on the same month 2 years from now. After that, I definitely plan on living my best life in another country. I've always wanted to move to France, so after this lease is up, I definitely plan on moving to another country.
That's great that her lease is ending right when she graduates, because then you're just free to do whatever you want. I really like that video. I mean, it shows you what's possible. She saved $20,000 while living with her mom, and then she turned around and used that to rent and furnish her dream apartment. If you're living with your parents, then definitely take advantage of that free rent as long as you can. And then you'll also be able to go and rent your dream apartment or your dream house and furnish it however you wish. Seeing someone paying over $1,800 a month on rent really hurts me on the inside, but I understand that that's what New York real estate prices demand, so that's kind of what it is. In New Mexico, you could be renting a much bigger house or apartment for the same amount of money, but you also wouldn't have any of the same career opportunities that you do in New York. I'm still kind of curious how much she makes and how much of that is going towards her rent, and I'm also curious what she's majoring in and how she plans to use that to increase her income. But overall, great video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure you go and check out CNBC Make It, and make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me some feedback down in the comments to let me know what you think. Don't forget to drink your water, and I'll see you on the next video.